Sorry that this video is late. I've had some personal things that I've had to attend to for the past couple of weeks, but I'm back. And I wanted to talk about Metro Exodus because I do like the game. I think the game is good, probably is borderline on great. There are some things that drag on for me for the game, and there's some great things about it. I think there's a lot more pros than cons with this game, but I do want to start off with the cons because there's only really two for me. And I think the first issue with the game that I have is that it drags on. The gameplay, I cannot tell you how many times I've died in the game. It's been a huge adjustment for me to get adjusted for Metro Exodus. And I think 4A has done a good job at making Metro Exodus feel like it's their own game. It does not feel like most modern-based first-person shooters. It's not supposed to. But at the same token, it took a long time. It took pretty much the entirety of the first level for me to get used to the actual game. And by first level, I mean the second location that you spawn in, excuse me. Not in Moscow, but in the other one. So it took a long time for me to get adjusted to the game. I died a lot. And the gameplay itself is good. Really, the only issue with it is that it's very, very slow paced. And it being slow paced means that it's tactical. If you look at Apex Legends, you can do a lot of tactical things with it. I've done some pretty fun stuff with the game. But at the same token, with Apex Legends, you can adjust your aim quicker than you can in Metro. The panning is faster, the characters in Apex Legends are faster, and with Metro, it's very, very slow. The game loves to remind you that you're human and that you're one guy, you're just one random nerd in Moscow that just so happens to be there when the apocalypse essentially happens. But beyond you being a Spartan, there's really nothing special about you. And the developers, they love to just shove that right in your face over and over and over and over and over again. And you get used to you being slow, you being human, you being immortal. And it's a pro and a con because you die a lot. And on top of that, the gameplay is really, really, really slow. I cannot emphasize that enough. To the point in which that 4A Games has turned down the sensitivity and they just don't allow you to adjust. And it's a weird setting too. It's like the x-axis is it's slower than the y-axis, and it's just or the x-axis is faster than the y-axis, and it's just awkward, the aiming in the game, because I can't customize it, I can't make it faster. The aiming and the slow pace of the game and the monotonous grind that is getting used to the Metro Exodus environment, they are cons. They are legitimate cons with the game. The pros, on the other hand, there's way too many for me to really consider the cons. Almost. For starters, the story is great. Without going into detail, the story is about you and your crew exploring Russia. That's it. That's all I'm going to reveal. There's way too many spoilers to be had with the story. But the gameplay is where the game really shines. The weapon customization isn't what I thought it would be. I thought you could craft weapon attachments early on in the game and, kit out one weapon that you really want. But you actually find your weapon attachments in the world, which is a bit awkward because you can sometimes get a night vision scope that has great magnification for a sniper rifle, but you can't find a scope that works in the daylight. I know that there's one in Caspian somewhere. I haven't found it yet, again, halfway through the game, because again, I had some personal stuff that I had to address. But the good thing about the game, the good thing about the weapon customization is that I was constantly switching back and forth between certain guns to test out which guns work best with different weapon attachments, different weapon combinations with different weapon attachments. I mean, the weapon customization is really something that needs to be applauded with Metro, because I've never had so much fun tactically switching between the weapons and the weapon attachments to suit a specific playstyle to attack or defend against a specific enemy. And 4A does a great job with making sure that you as the player have plenty of options to sift through during the game. And I think finally, this was obviously a con, the game being slow-paced, but it's also a pro. It makes you think about certain situations. You can't necessarily attack a group of watchmen because they're going to murder you. And the game kind of strong-arms you into doing so, and it really makes you think about certain situations. I think the developer said that you can be super aggressive, you can be kind of explosive and loud. That's not true. That's really not true. They've really made it a point of emphasis to make sure that you understand, hey, you are one person, you have a limited amount of bullets, you have a limited amount of guns that you can carry, and worse yet, your guns jam, they get rusty, they get dirty over time, and most importantly, you're outnumbered in a lot of situations. So yes, you can probably, on an easier difficulty, take out groups of enemies, but it really serves you to be tactical and be smart with your play, and that makes the game feel unique. It doesn't make it feel like an Apex Legends. It doesn't make it feel like a Call of Duty. It makes it feel like something in its own weight class. And that to me is a lot of fun with the game. I had a lot of fun playing Metro. I had a lot of fun. I still have a lot of fun. I may complete it. I don't really know. There's a lot of stuff to do. If you like slow-paced first-person shooters, this is the game for you. This really is it. There's only one game like this out there. It's a great first-person shooter. If I could customize the sensitivity, the game, and take out motion blur, the game would be a lot better. I'm not even kidding on that. But because the game, the pros are similar to the cons, and really some of the cons can be fixed, I feel like the game kind of drags on a little bit. But I still love this game. It's a fun aspect. The story, again, is great. I don't regret buying the game. I, in fact, enjoyed a lot of my playtime, even though I died a whole bunch during the first level. I'm really happy about Metro Exodus. I'm happy about the product that I got from 4A Games. Hopefully 4A Games can take what they've learned with Metro Exodus and turn it into something better. And also hopefully they can actually put the game both on the Epic Store and on the Steam Store, maybe so PC players can play it on Steam. But I enjoyed my time with Metro Exodus. I hope you will too if you buy the game. But this has been 24. Remember to like, comment, favorite, and subscribe for more. I know a lot has gone on for the past couple of weeks. I've missed out. I've hated missing out. But I did have to take some time. And I do want to talk a lot about some things that have been going on recently. I do want to talk about The Division 2. Until then, I hope you have a fantastic day. And I'll see you next time.